Is this going to be on TV?
So I grew up in this environment. You know, my grandmother and my mother worked in state homes, and they would take me to work with them. And I can actually recall a resident that I fell in love with. And to this day, I remember being a teenager and going to work with my mom and just loving this resident and knowing that when I grew up, that's what I wanted to do.
We have many people who come here because they've had an accident or they've had some kind of an illness, and our rehab department is absolutely wonderful. They can get anybody back on their feet and going on to their next part of their lives.
So I got up in the morning at home and I went to get dressed and I couldn't walk. Well, I came into Absolut Care. It seems to be getting better. I can walk a little bit better, but a little more like I did before. It's almost like a new experience, like starting to walk all over again.
We have occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy.
And they try and make you as independent as you can.
Since our remodel, I think our facility feels homier, more comfortable. It's also much bigger. We have a kitchenette where we're able to simulate home cooking and cleaning tasks. The goal of occupational therapy is to regain independence.
I came for rehabilitation because I have an amputee leg. I'm going to have to learn how to walk all over again. But I do a lot of therapy. I do a lot of occupational therapy with the weights and stuff.
We often co-treat patients while the activity we're completing is dressing. You have a speech therapist who is working on memory, recalling the steps of dressing. Working with an occupational therapist who is teaching someone how to dress. To see the two come together for the patient to achieve independence in a simple task of dressing is really heartwarming as a therapist.
You know, sometimes you just need that little hug, just a little rub, pat on the back. Sometimes that means a lot to a patient.
And nurses and the aides are loving, caring people.
It's like one big happy family.
She said she wanted to go to Italy. And I said, well, we can't do that, but we can have a night in Italy. So we used her old world family recipe. We made the spaghetti sauce, the 3 cheese meatballs, the garlic bread, the pasta. Everything was from her recipes. We had a beautiful night outside, and it was absolutely wonderful.
A lot of activity. Bingo and road trips. You pick and choose where you want to go.
And we try to expose them to as many different things as we possibly can so that they have things to socialize, talk about, and tell their families. It's what they want to do that we put on our calendar. I don't make it up. They make it up for me.
A lot of home-cooked meals. Not everybody gets the same thing every day. It keeps everybody creative and active. That feel-good meal, the soul food that we like to do here. So I kind of enjoy doing that kind of stuff. It makes people all warm inside, especially in the wintertime.
And every morning I go downstairs into the lobby where they made it. The living room is just like your living room at home. Beautiful. And they give you a paper every morning to read.
I help take care of my parents, and it's difficult. It's different taking care of your parents than it is your children. And you have a little bit of a different pull with your children than you do with your parents. And honestly, I couldn't get my mom to get her hair done or get her nails done. And she came here and her 6 sisters commented on how they had not seen her get her hair done or get her nails done in years. And they were so happy at just the difference that she had in herself with being here in our rehab.
My mom got sick and needed care, and she came here, and I got to spend the last few weeks of her life with her here every day, and it was wonderful. Life is more than merely breathing. We put life in those final years.
To watch the transition from a patient needing our help for everything to doing it on their own just, keeps me coming back every day.
And every night when I lay my head on that pillow, I want to know going to sleep that I'm confident in the staff that I have here and that we're doing our very best to take care of every resident that's here.
I would let anybody come here. I would even let my dog come here. Now I'm done, and put me on TV.
That better make our bloopers line.